Hello, welcome to Wandering the Wild Mess with Heather Morgan. I have something for you, and I hadn't anticipated recording this, but I was sitting with myself this morning and felt so called to pause with y'all before the year gets loud. I know sometimes the beginning of a new year can feel so exciting, a fresh start, a clean slate, but it can also seem like so much pressure to get it right this year, to do the right things, to make the right moves, to accomplish all the goals, for your life to look the way that you had always wanted. And I know for so many of my listeners and people that, the last few years have for many been difficult to navigate and things have shed and been lost. And I think it's a lot to sometimes navigate, and it can often put you in a place where you're like, am I doing this right? And I want to remind you, if you're feeling like you should be farther along, I promise you're not doing it wrong. There's no invisible scoreboard that you're losing. You're not late to your life. And the timelines that we see in other people's lives happening at different times, we are literally all on different journeys. And that doesn't mean we don't keep moving and making effort towards our goals, but it is for us to sit with ourselves and realize sometimes the overwhelming amount of pressure we put on ourselves keeps us more stuck than just trusting our path, no matter how messy it looks. You remember that one? So, this moment, I just want to remind you of your worthiness. I want to remind you how important you are to this world, and that your unique gift and your unique light is necessary and is helping people that you may not even know. And there is purpose in us all. And I know some people tell me, I've talked to people saying, I just don't really know what my purpose is. And guess what? That's okay. That's okay. Because we all, just like our timelines all are in different places, we find our purpose sometimes in a different times. And it's not something really that you need to search for. It's something that is found while you're living and open to life. And there's so much that is told to us where your life should look like X, Y, and Z. And that's a measure of success. And I'm just here to remind you that you get to define what success looks like for you. And once you are good with what success looks like for you, that is the only metric that matters. I don't want you going into another year feeling like if I don't have this, this, or this, then I have failed. Because there really isn't, in my opinion, failure. There's lessons, there's things that just weren't for you, there's a time to try again. But when we put the word like failure or if I don't, that adds a lot of shame to our minds about what we can do and what we can accomplish. I'm not good enough. And there is nothing that I want more for you for this year is to remember that you are so loved. And the person that I want to love you the most this year, besides me, of course, because I just love y'all so much for being here, but I want you to love you. I want you to take a step back and really think about what were you so proud of that you accomplished last year? You know there are things. I know it's easy to be like, I didn't do this and I didn't do that. No, 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 no. What is that one thing that you're so proud you had the strength to do, that you got through, that you did? Think about that. That is the energy that we're carrying into the new year. Is that person that got through that really hard thing? That was you. And it deserves a pat on the back, a round of applause, and acknowledgement because that person that could do that hard thing is coming into 2026 with their light. And you deserve to love yourself. So I just want to remind you, you don't need to rush this year to be worthy of it. You're allowed to meet this year exactly where you are. It doesn't help to set a whole bunch of goals that you feel like are overwhelming. I've talked about this before, but I want you to know that this whole trip around the sun, the moon, 365 days that we're so blessed to give, it's not about doing more. I would say it's more about enjoying more. And enjoying more doesn't have to be escaping reality and not facing life and its obstacles, but knowing that no matter what comes, you have the strength and the trust that you will get through it because you will. And I can hear birds in my backyard right now. And I woke up this morning with so much gratitude. And I want you to sit with the gratitude that you have for your life because you can still be so grateful for what your life looks like now but want and long for so much more for yourself. Those two things can be true. You can be happy and content with where you are and still long for something more. That love, that job, that opportunity, all of those are waiting for you if it's what you truly desire. But you have to be the person that feels worthy enough to receive them. I know you are, but do you know you are? And that would be, I think, what I'm offering here is this year, if you can sit with yourself and say, what would the one goal for this year be? I would suggest learning to love and give yourself grace will bring more receiving and goodness into your life than any other thing that you could do. And loving yourself isn't this ego, I'm better hierarchy thing. This is knowing your worth and your value and that you're inherently worthy and deserving of a good life. And so that when it comes to you, when you have those opportunities that you want and desire, when things come your way, you don't just go, oh, there's got to be, that could never work out, and just waiting for the other ball to drop. Because when you do that, it's saying that you don't feel worthy of those things. And I said this the other day, it came on my walk. And if you're ever the kind of person that says, oh, well, I would love that, but that's just not for me. This is for me. I always get this because that's not for me. Whatever you think is always what you get. That's what you think you're worthy of. And the other thing that you say when you say, oh, I would love that, but it's not for me, it's not because it's not for you. It's because you don't feel yet worthy of that thing, of that promotion, of that house, of that ideal partner. But you are. And until you teach yourself, relearn that you are worthy of those other things. You're not just worthy of, oh, I always get things like this. Oh, I always get passed up. Oh, I always, always, always. No, 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 no. You don't always. That's your baseline of what you think you're worthy of. And this is the year you look yourself in the eye and say, I am worthy of more, and I am worthy of my desires, and I love who I am because I have gotten me through everything that's happened in my life up until this point. And that's a pretty good track record. So go enjoy your day. Remember that you're loved. Remember that you're worthy. Remember that you're deserving of such a beautiful life. And you don't owe anyone or anybody else an explanation for the things you want from life and the timeline that you're on. Don't put unnecessary pressure to create a life for everybody else to say, good job, when the only good job that really matters is the one that you give to yourself. You live with the life that you have. So design it the way you want it and enjoy your year in every moment that you can. This was Wandering the Wild Mess with Heather Morgan. You matter.